Welcome back to Call of Duty Zombies forums, folks. This is NaBrZHunter with another episode of Podcaster Toten, where we're going to focus on a concept that we've come back to. Well, I guess this is the second time on the podcast that we've come back to it, namely going dark. The practice in general in the community tends to be when, as soon as the map comes out, a lot of the YouTubers hop on, they get going, and they figure it out. It's a race around the world. Someone cheats and gets it first, and then it's pretty much over. There are some very... it's pretty much the way it goes every time. No, you're good, Water, because I mean it is the way it goes, isn't it? I mean, let's just take the transition from here. I mean, because I mean that's our experience, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
So yeah, and the difference is, I guess, certain parties like myself and my guests here, WaterKH and Preferred Whale, we have learned the joys and wonders and absolute ecstasy of going dark and keeping these mysteries to ourselves until such a time as we actually figure them out on our own. So that was really wordy. Let's talk about what it means to go dark. And I just want to talk to both of you guys. Oh, and I didn't introduce, by the way, our constant companion Tac is with us as usual. Say hi, Tac.
I'm the least important one in this conversation. Ignore me.
Oh.
Everyone's important.
No, I'm kidding.
Special point on...
But these are my friends that went dark.
Absolutely. And the special point about Tac, and not only is he a constant companion here on Podcaster Toten, but he jumped into our party as we finished Togder Toten and just kept us company and was there for the momentous occasion, which was very special. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it was fun to watch you guys go through the whole thing.
It was awesome.
He was there to tell us when it crashed.
Oh yeah.
He really was.
So we're like, that's how
we'll
it
get
ends.
there.
And he's like, no, there's more.
So let me go ahead and ask, what is it to go dark? What is your thought to you? Let's start with you, Water. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Put you on the spot here. You love it when I do that.
Usually I just don't look at Twitter or YouTube, and then just kind of when I get home from work, just hop in party chat with you and Whale and try to figure it out. The Easter egg.
Where's your main place that you would normally go to try to find those kinds of steps? Like, I guess Twitter and do you not use Reddit?
I hate Reddit.
Okay, that's fair.
Old statements, guys.
How about you, Whale? Do you have any special thoughts on what it is to go dark?
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with Water. Pretty much, just not checking out Twitter. Usually, I'll wake up, look at Twitter, and catch up with the rest of the world. But yeah, try and stay off and avoid all the spoilery thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did actually get on YouTube, but I would look at the names of who uploaded. So then I'd be like, that's not a Zombies YouTuber. So I could look at their video.
Oh, nice.
But
and though with the amount of, well, with your particular activity, was the homepage not filled up with other stuff? Though I guess you also do Kingdom Hearts and stuff, so you probably have a lot of other content out there.
Yeah, I haven't really watched any zombie YouTubers in a while, but I would just squint my eyes really until they closed, so I couldn't really see anything.
So we have some very analog approaches to this problem.
There's a process.
Very nice. All right, so let's talk some stories.
Wait, what was yours, Knobbers?
Oh yeah, what it is to go dark. It's been, I'm a little more liberal, I guess, with that. I took some chances, mostly because things absolutely went to hell that week of Togder Toten, and I decided to stick around in the chat and the Discord for Call of Duty Zombies forums, and thankfully most of the people there were very gracious to actually create a separate chat, which they call the spoiler chat, which is now known as the best friends chat, and really needs to be deleted, but it's still there.
I was wondering what that was, and I'm like, what is this?
It's just...
I think it's being transitioned to an off-topic chat, but I'm not totally sure. Anyways, I agree. The name needs to change.
But yeah, I kind of pushed the limits a little bit there, and thankfully everyone there was very gracious, so it could have gotten spoiled at any moment. But yeah, as you guys were saying, the best policy is really just to shut it all down. I mean, just stay away from it all, which in itself is not a bad deal. I mean, you're kind of getting a break from social media and a sense of accomplishment all in one. How about that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
you really
Like,
have to isolate yourself.
yeah, I realized I didn't need to check Twitter every morning, so that was alright.
I like it. All right, so let's transition real quick to our next topic. What was your first map dark? And well, I'll let you give your default answer. Then I would kind of spin that on its head a little bit. Go ahead, Whale. Let's start with you.
Alpha Omega was definitely the first. Well, we tried doing that one dark, I guess. Me and Water, and then so we were just figuring out the ray guns and stuff like that. And then just like jamming with others, it's sort of the darkness sort of fell away. So we really couldn't keep dark for some of the weapons.
Oh yeah.
I think mostly we did the rest of the Easter egg with you.
Okay, so I'm going to spin the topic on its head a little bit for you, Water, to your answer.
Why? Me?
Because I guess technically your answer is the same as Whale's, correct? And so that was the first Easter egg you completed dark, right? Okay, so jumping directly into the zombies mode, was your experience, like, did you know about the community? Were you looking up tutorials for this first zombie map you ever played, or in any way did you go in dark into this mode throughout your time as a zombies player?
It's a lot of memories to go back through. So, like, how did I get into the
Would you say
zombies mode?
Well, I guess to make clear is my story. I would say my first ever Easter egg dark was Zetsubo no Shima. Around the time that Eisenbach, we were following Milo pretty closely because we were talking a lot with him at the time, and so I accompanied that. I watched him for that. But after that, I think the challenge was out there to what can be done on our own. And myself and Doppelganger, we plowed through Zetsubo no Shima.
Doppelganger.
But I wouldn't say that was my first experience dark because I didn't realize that there was an online community for this. I mean, maybe that's obvious to some people, but when I first started playing, I started on iOS, and my younger brother, who I'd party up with him on iOS, which how whack is that? That was an amazing app that you could party up back in the day.
I got that app, yeah.
Did you really?
Like the zombies on your
phone? Oh man, the World of War. Not so much the Black Ops one, but the World of War one was possibly the best. Like,
that was hard.
Do what?
It was hard to play on a
Really?
phone,
Did you think so?
I got both of them. Oh yeah. Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I was always dying. I wasn't really good at it, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I always thought, like, I was just playing the new Call of Duty Mobile, and I know we're straying a little off topic here, but I think it's okay because it talks a little bit about the topic. Is as far as gameplay, I mean, the new Call of Duty Mobile is more reminiscent of, I think, the World at War zombies. Are you referring to the World at War zombies iOS or the Black Ops for iOS?
Yeah.
Both. Okay. All right. World at War, I mean, I found it pretty easy to master after a while. But again, I was playing it constantly because I didn't have a console at the time.
Right.
So, and I didn't know there was a community. My brother discovered the Easter egg song by knifing the green jars. And that started that train of thought in me, like, what happens if I knife other things? And I discovered the radio. That's what is my conviction that, like, bringing other people into the mode. I mean, I love being a tour guide and I love showing people through the maps, but there's nothing that will hook someone to a map as much as remembering that first time that they figured it out on their own.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what dug me into this story in itself. So I like to say that my first map dark was probably Dariza on iOS. Okay. So in that sense, like in terms of being in touch with the community and looking up steps, have you had any similar experiences, Water, or have you pretty much been in with the intel this whole time?
So, yeah, my brother played it way back. Actually, both my brothers did. And I was very against not playing it.
Wait, I think that was a double negative there.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to play it, or did you not want to play it?
No, I was, like, against playing it.
Okay, interesting. All right.
At first, yeah, because I was a Christian child.
Dude, I'm with you there, brother.
But, yeah, I was over at my friend's house, and they were really into playing it. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So we played Town. I think actually I played 5 first and then Kino way back. And then I played Town with them. And then I think we tried to do Transit, but we just could, like, we would always leave each other trying to get the weapon box.
Dude, that is so familiar.
And then,
go on though.
Yep.
And then I think we really liked Alcatraz, Mob of the Dead. I think that was our favorite one. And then I think that's when we looked up stuff and we're like, hey, this is people actually. There's stuff to do here, and then we're like, oh, let's try to do it. And then we followed the guide and figured it out. And then I was like, hey, there's like a cipher on the front of this thing. And then that's kind of where
Really?
I kind of got into the cipher.
So
community.
you discovered a cipher?
No, like the ADFGX on the
Okay.
loading screen.
Oh wait, but wait, did you see? Did someone point that out to you, or did you discover it yourself?
I mean, it's there. I think I saw the grid first, and then I saw the cipher.
I was.
It's been a while.
I don't know, man. Like I'm not looking at things and going, "Wow, that's a cipher." I'm just saying. That's
I was just gotten out of this mobile app, or just getting
Okay.
into it. I think I don't remember, but it was all like centered around puzzles and stuff, and I was getting into the whole ciphers and codes and stuff.
ADFGX.
And I guess
man.
I noticed. I don't know.
Fell in at the right time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hate that cipher now.
Yeah, it wasted a lot of people's time. You worked so hard on that, man.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, though, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, if I could change anything, I probably wouldn't. Because I mean, I met Whale through this, and I met you guys through this, and really Oxen and Liz and everybody I know. So it was good, but I was like, damn it.
Absolutely, I feel you on that. So good stuff, guys. So let's talk about why.
Do you want to ask Whale?
Oh wait, did I?
Ask me what?
Oh no, I did.
No,
I
we're
did.
good, we're good.
First map dark. She talked about Alpha Omega.
Oh,
which actually,
okay.
for that matter, Water. Do you have any specific thoughts on Alpha Omega that you'd like to mention, and what what that was like as a first map to go through dark?
I think Alpha and Call of the Dead, or not, Dr.
Yeah.
Toten. Oops. I think both of those maps are actually pretty good to come in dark at, because I feel like if we try to do dark on like Revelations or Shadows of Evil, stuff like that, I feel like those were a lot more
can't
community
imagine.
oriented. These were much more hand-holdy, I feel like.
Yeah,
But,
that's fair.
yeah.
That's a good point. I think I actually appreciate that, and I was a little bit torn in that sense. Whereas there were some things that we just kind of discovered just by searching, like actually a lot of things I guess we discovered by searching. But you're right, it is very handholdy, almost Origins-esque. Maybe.
Oh, you think Origins is hand-holdy?
To a certain extent, maybe not. Maybe I'm looking at it in the retrospect because I didn't go dark on that, and so I did know the steps.
Right.
But in a sense that
kinda
you
feel
have
like-
a voice like talking to you, like you need to do this, blah blah blah. Kind of pushing you, urging you to do something more, as opposed to, go back to. I don't know. No, and then I take that back. Now that I think about it, as far back as Ascension, you have Gersh talking to you right out the gate. Call of the Dead, you have the 4 characters prompting you to do things. Shang, Brock, and Gary. So I guess we've been doing that for a long time now, huh? Maybe only Moon didn't actually have a verbal cue. What do you think, Tac?
Yeah, I don't remember the Easter egg steps that well after all this time.
Okay, I didn't. I was going to say I
I
didn't know.
can't be of addition.
You're good. All right, so yeah, no, I tend to agree with you on that. I feel like it was very friendly to the individual explorer.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Especially with the whole Easter egg guide, like how many ticks you have on it
that's
as well.
true. That is a very. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really learn how to use that until we were playing Tag, and pointed that out. I was like, oh, that's right, Alpha Omega had one of these, and I didn't even pay attention to it the whole time. Which is probably why I didn't progress as much as y'all did.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
one of the things I specifically remember while listening to you guys do the Easter egg was after you had the crash the first time around, going through like the second and the third, and you're like, oh wow, this is actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. They're like, yeah, we didn't do this quite so early, but now that you know,
Yeah.
easier than we thought.
Dude, 3 days of effort just suddenly collapsed into what we did almost 2 hours before we had our second
Yeah.
crash.
Right, yeah.
But all the same,
We're just stuck on that one step for like forever.
right? What was that? Actually, let's talk about highlights. Let's talk a little about highlights because I didn't put that in the kind of agenda here. Let's start. Let's reverse directions again. Water. What would you say was the highlight of this search for you? What was your high moment?
Highlight?
And it's just an open question. You know, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like whatever. What do you feel like is supposed to
I know there
happen?
was a couple when we were like first starting
sure.
out, and we were like figuring stuff out. I don't remember exactly, like, I don't know. But the one that I like most remember was when me and Whale were like trying to search for where to place the rocks or the stones. And when she like found it, and then we were like,
Oh, the
"What?"
blue,
And then,
the
like,
115 rock in the tunnel.
No, where you place the
Oh,
soapstones.
the soapstones.
down on
Oh,
the-
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just remember us getting like super excited, and we're like, "Oh man, you found it!" And then we're like, "Now we gotta wait for NaBrZ." So like then we like hopped off and waited. But yeah, it was just like, I remember that being a really really cool moment.
That is pretty awesome. Yeah, dude, I couldn't imagine finding that on my own. I guess it's possible, but man, that very very observant of you. Y'all make connections pretty well. What about you, Whale? What was your highlight moment? I think I know, but I want to hear from you.
I actually would have agree. I agree with Water. Probably the soapstones thing, just because we had been stuck on that for so long, and then it was sort of random. Like I could hear this like sound plonking, and I thought it was Water. I was like, "What did you do?" And he's like, I'm just walking around." I was like, "Same. What's happening?" But yeah, and then
Wait,
we found it
the
and saw it.
plunking. Wait, what was the plunking?
Oh, it's the sound of the soapstones going in the like where you put them.
Well, so were you
I
like
was just holding
reloading or
square.
something, Water, when you walked over the spots?
No, it was Whale.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Whale.
was-
Oh,
I
okay.
think she was reloading when
But
she was
I
doing
thought
it.
because sometimes I can hear him like landing off the flinger and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I was like, oh, yeah. But other than that, the other one that I really liked was the what do you call the cork board thing?
Cork boards, yeah.
They had the safe behind
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
that
the other
was
one, yeah.
insane.
I
was- yeah.
I applaud that discovery. That one was when Water told me you had knocked down the corkboard by knifing. I was like, there was something in my soul just felt warm. I was like, I know how she felt in that moment.
Yeah. It was almost like a jump scare because I was like running around the room just knifing, like just raging with Water, being like, what are we gonna do? And then the corkboard fell, and I was just like, something happened.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think, like the way you say it's just almost like a jump scare. I want to say I'm trying to think that whether there was one like that in there for me. I mean, you heard me freak out when I absolutely lost it. Well, I guess the jump scare was that for me.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Right? What was Hunter? Yours had to have been when you got that one.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like I absolutely flipped when I found the transformer. But because the thing
Oh,
was
yeah.
like they had been waiting for like 30 minutes or something. Like I was just like poking around. You know, I had the Wunderwaffe and the sharp.
Because we got the Wonderwolf because we thought we were gonna shoot the generator.
Yeah, so we had tried all
from the
kinds of
old
stuff,
Call of
and
the
then
Dead
I was the
Easter
only
egg.
one with the sharpshoots, and we were like, you know, what next? And I remember Water just said, you know, you found anything, or what are you doing right now? And Abs, I was like, just like messing around. And at that moment, I like scanned
Yeah.
over with the scope, and there was this sparking transformer. Your tac is point valid. Your point is really valid. Tac.
What?
The jump scare was the jump scare for me, and that's the truth both for AO and for this one. Less AO because I had gotten a hint from a thumbnail, just because it's like the jump scare and it showed the desert, I guess the Nevada desert out there.
Right.
And it was really obvious, though, kind of was like, okay, if there's a jump scare, it's probably out of the map, because they always had been previously. So I wasn't entirely spoiled, and I got extremely lucky to find it, because I was like, okay, I'm just going to look out in the desert. How about I go up here? And it all looks the same. So it got me really good. But yeah, nothing beats the freaking Markwa from Tog. Like, dude, I was just trying to read the note. So... yeah.
That was so funny when you did it too, because you like freaked out and you were like, Magua can't hurt me, Magua isn't real, and I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
like he's reading the thing. Like I was just like, alright. Didn't realize.
And tragedy of all tragedies, I was trying to clean up the YouTube the YouTube channel, and I accidentally deleted that clip.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it shall be
Damn.
our moment alone.
Memory. Yeah.
Did it maybe save it on your PlayStation, or is it just directly uploaded?
It was directly uploaded because it was the stream. So yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks. And then of course, as far as my other one that I was talking about, the Transformer, Tac then had to inform us, because he was in the Discord at the time, that we hadn't been streaming for 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was.
That felt
was
bad
not
to
good.
talk
Oh
about.
man, bearer of bad news. Someone chop off his head. Jeez. So we're coming to a close here. Gonna just talk about a couple things, which I know we've touched on as we've gone here. Just the I was gonna say staying dark is here, but I think we talked a lot about that. Just avoiding things, avoiding the social media and those types of things, and the side benefits of that. But what do you feel? Y'all feel are the rewards of this? Like, talk about just a little more detail about why this is worthwhile and the experience in itself. Water, go ahead.
Can you start?
Oh, me?
Yeah, I'll go.
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, go ahead. Water.
Yeah, I think one like sort of practical benefit of going dark is that you have to know the steps. Like, I don't need to look up all the locations and things like that. Like, I've pretty much memorized it now because we've jammed it so hard. I think there's still some kind of benefit to like replayability though, because there are some, I think, I'm not sure, but like every now and then, like the Apothicon will give a clue that I have no idea, like I've never heard of it before. But like Water will be like, oh, where the crows roost, that'll be like a certain part of the ship. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like there's still that kind of fun aspect of it as well. So yeah.
That is some actually fantastic points. I didn't so much think about the replayability, but it's true. I mean, there are people who are already burned out of it by the first week.
Right. Of course.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's very profound. How about you, Water? He just kind of flowing with the tide.
I think I touched on it a little bit before.
Yeah,
Like I think the feeling of accomplishment, like we did this together without any other help, was like, I don't know. This is a cool,
Yeah.
I guess, achievement to say, like, I did this on our own kind of thing.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm with you on that, and I think, and I touched on, I think my number one benefit earlier is just that there's a nostalgia there for me now. Like going back and playing Doriza anytime, it's my routine and my tradition to go. I have to play every radio. When I really when I really go back to revisit. I might play a casual game here and there, but if I've been away for a long time and I go back to replay it, like gotta play every radio, gotta pack a punch, gotta do the fly trap, gotta drink the extra juggernog, and gotta throw the monkey bomb in the furnace.
Wait, what? Extra.
Yeah, buddy, you better start looking. It's out there. It is out there.
I actually have a similar one because I found that rock that's in Revelations that like pops up out of like a certain jump pad and all that kind of stuff, and like I'll still look at it now and be like, I found that thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Tag and Alpha,
you're
gonna be like entire maps of just like, oh yeah, we figured out that puzzle. Yeah.
It's a little endorphin rush that will always be associated with playing that map.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think you were the first person to like post that on Reddit even and like get people looking at it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing about going dark is like you actually can just ignore the sort of race that all the YouTubers or other people
I
be
think,
going
yeah.
for. Like I think the race is less fun now with all the leaks or potential leaks and stuff. So.
I agree.
And there's always some controversy over how the first person won, and I never verify
Exactly.
whether it was really cheating or not. Like that is my assumption now. Whenever I hear someone finished it, and honestly, actually, that's generally how I hear it. Yeah, someone finished it, but they cheated. Like that's literally how it always gets posted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Kinda dumb.
exactly. So it takes the pressure off you. I feel like if you're you're following along and then you see or if you're in the race rather, and you see someone else has completed it, you got to feel kind of like the wind has been taken out of your sails a little bit.
Yeah.
The race is over.
Yeah, I think detaching from that is really nice because then you can kind of do it at your own pace.
Exactly. And so then those weeks of pursuing that end goal definitely remain nostalgic. Dude, I mean, I'll never forget completing Zetsubo no Shima at 4 a.m. with Doppelganger Man, and the dude, the transition to that one. I mean, there was no like, unlike a lot of the others that are like a flash, a white flash. We cut away, the zombies despawn, those kinds of things. Zet will always be probably my favorite Black Ops 3 map and one of my favorite maps of all time, because we had this moment in the elevator. You know, once we had found all the freaking gears to that doggone elevator, man, it took so much effort, and we found it. And then we hopped on that elevator and everything went quiet, and we were just like, dude, we did it, dude. We did it. And this is just this elevator, and yet the suspense was building. We're going, the creaking of the elevator, and oh man, I don't know if I'll ever live down that memory, but
I think just Black Ops 3's cycle was just so, I don't know, it just was really special to me, at least.
That was, and
I know, like, there's a whole controversy with all the apothecons and keepers and stuff, but I don't know. I met everybody I know right now through that. It was really
absolutely
cool.
Well, I feel you there, and we have our disagreements on that, but it was there was lots of nostalgia associated with it, and I will say I'm glad for the way they did the apothecons, even though it was less satisfactory to you people who were actually had a softness for them, I suppose, by this time. I'm glad that I'm kind of on a similar page with y'all now, at least. The way the Black Ops 4 brought them in reintroduced them in this sort of like, in a way that I felt like should have come before Black Ops 3. To kind of get us used to the idea. I feel like that should have, I talked about this last podcast, that, if you just showed us these little pictures and these little hints and mentions of them prior, like, and then, whoa, here's Shadows of Evil, there they are, like, that would have been a little more impactful. But all the same, I have a better appreciation for them now after Black Ops 4. And I only hope that someone at Activision will realize that this is still an enormous cash cow and you can still milk it for all it's worth, because...
No. No.
Are you ready for it to be
Stay
done?
Away. No, I just don't want Activision a part of it.
I was just baiting them. It's like please
take this part out.
Dump some more money into it. No, for real, Treyarch, we love you. We want to see more of this. We want to continue this special relationship we've had with y'all over all these years. So.
What are we gonna do with our lives now?
Right?
End of
I know, right? It's...
Dude, I just came back. I left after Black Ops 3 and went on a long hiatus, only to come back and hear them talking about the end of Ether again. And at the end of right?
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I don't want to go.
Oh, did you see Craig Houston's live stream? Actually, that is one thing that we miss out on going dark, is sort of all the live streams and things that happen.
I did see the live stream actually.
Yeah.
It
gets really emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you told me that way.
Yeah.
I had it up, and I think I was listening to it while I was
working.
Same
here.
Right.
And I must have missed
it. He gets all choked up when he starts talking about the voice actors and all that kind of stuff. And
it's special.
I hope the fans have enjoyed it. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I feel like the quote of 2019 is "I don't want to go," between Avengers and zombies.
Oh yeah, true.
I forgot that happened earlier this year. It's been a long year.
It has been, and yet at the same time, it's almost over. Dude, we're 5 years away from the events of Black Ops 2. Let's go.
What?
Yeah, 2025.
Oh,
5 years left to live, and the whole world turns to magma.
I love it.
I didn't realize Transit Crew is 2025.
Yeah, Moon is 2025 actually. That was the weird thing about it. We debated. I remember being on the 2011 team for a long time, but it's 2025. So, well, I think that's it, folks. That pretty much wraps it up, and we're on a good time. We're right here about 30 minutes. So thanks so much for coming on, guys, and chatting about this. It was an absolute honor and a blast doing it with y'all, and y'all are smart folks too. You're figuring these things.
Nice way of saying you're nerds. Yeah. No, thanks for having us. It's been awesome.
Aren't we all of it?
It was great. It honestly was a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much again. Thanks, Tac, for joining us here and joining us in our Discord, man.
I forgot Tac was there.
Of course.
You're awesome, man. I think it added to that experience too. Just have this fourth family member.
May I say that on your first night to the audience, I want to apologize to everyone for almost ruining the Easter egg for these three while they were in it.
Yes, go
really?
Tac.
I hear
talk about it.
I hear one random quote about, I don't even remember what, and I was just like, wait, hold on a second, that doesn't make sense. And everyone was like, what do you mean, man? And I was just like, Well, because they banish everything to, and then I kind of trail off.
Oh,
I was
I
like,
do remember you saying that actually.
It went over all of our heads.
I did not put
somehow.
that together. That's
I felt
hilarious.
so bad, and so right away I just got off.
I was
like, all right, I'm out.
You went really quiet, and I thought it was just that we were so busy that you were being ignored, but I didn't realize you were probably like shrinking back there.
Oh my god!
Man, that's
Because
so funny.
Monopoly Mac put it in the chat too. He goes like in the stream chat. He's like, "Shh, what are you talking about, Tac?"
Jeez.
I love
So
it.
And I
good.
was
Totally
like,
missed
oh,
that.
sick.
Went right over my head.
Yeah, thank you for not ruining it, because I didn't even pick up on that.
Oh man,
Yep.
very nice. That's a great way to wrap it up. All right, folks. Well, thanks again so much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying these podcast Toten episodes. I'll make a final note. I'm trying to get in touch with our old podcaster Toten guys, Grill and Flammenwerfer, from COD's forums. Hopefully we can hear their glorious voices on this podcast again, eventually, maybe if only for a few minutes. But just a shout out to those two guys for starting this. It's been a blast for us and the team as of late. So anyways, look forward to more. That should be coming soon. We can expect maybe a couple more next week. And with that, we'll catch you later. All right. You ready here? So let's see. We've got 120. It's count down from 5, and you get to 25. All right.
5,
4,
4, 3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1.
0.
0.
Welcome to.
This is not
This
right.
is not working.
I don't know what to do. Sorry. I started counting at 25, and then I was like, wait, should I say 6 here?
We were completely off.
Okay, Tac, I think this is a good idea, but I don't think it's a good
Could
idea.
not be more out of sync. That was insane.
Okay, that's the
Why don't we just,
absolute
why don't we
worst.
just clap? I think clapping on 3 is a good universal.
Can you
I
please
think so.
put that
Clapping on
in
3?
as bloopers?
I think so. I'm keeping that one right there.